Hi, I'm Jay Bender. I'm a ruling elder and the clerk of session at the Pollocksville Church and the current chairman of the Committee on Ministry. The SPOR team has asked that I speak briefly about the proposed restructuring of our presbytery and specifically the changes that result with the move from a committee on ministry to the commission on ministry. Historically, our polity has used the concept of a commission to designate an entity elected by a larger council to act on its behalf. In today's time, the best example of this would be the Administrative Commission to ordain and install a pastor. In that way, the presbytery has elected a smaller group to carry out the work on its behalf. So when that Administrative Commission meets, it's acting as a presbytery in miniature. Obviously, a much more efficient process than having the entire presbytery come together. The proposal before you changes the current Committee on Ministry to the Commission on Ministry, and by so doing delegates certain responsibilities and powers to those smaller groups on behalf of the presbytery. Interestingly, the former Southern PCUS used the term commission on the minister and his work to designate the work of the Committee on Ministry, but that organization really acted more as a committee having to report to presbytery. Under our new proposal, COM will be a true commission with powers to act on behalf of the presbytery. So what's the same and what's different? We already have 3 community COMs, and this has proven very beneficial in strengthening ties and cooperation among the churches and between those churches and the presbytery. Over the years, presbytery has delegated responsibilities to COM, such as establishing pastoral relationships, working with commission ruling elders, and meeting with churches when there are difficult times. The list in your packet shows many of the things that we're already doing. But in the past, most of this has been brought back to the full presbytery, either for action and a vote, or as part of the consent agenda, which can be lifted out of the agenda and acted on up or down. Now these actions will be reported merely as information, since the Committee on Ministry, acting as the Commission on Ministry, has worked on behalf of the presbytery. Some things will be different. These new community commissions on ministry will have the authority to examine ruling elders and commission them to churches. It will also have the opportunity to appoint those administrative commissions to ordain and install pastors to churches. But not all of it remains in those community groups. Some powers are still reserved for the meetings of the missional communities or the big presbytery. We'll still deal with the examination of a candidate for ordination at the larger meetings. Minimum terms of call for pastors and certified Christian elders will be dealt with before the big presbytery meeting. We will address the possible exceptions to the Book of Order, allowing an associate pastor or a temporary supply pastor to become the next installed pastor. We'll deal with original jurisdiction of a session and other aspects dealing specifically with minister members at the larger meetings. The advantages of such a move fits well in our efforts to promote flexibility and to address the diversity in our presbytery. A presbytery geographically wide and with 180 plus churches of varying sizes and mission emphases. The work of the new COM, the Commission on Ministry, will lodge more responsibility at the local level, reducing delays and helping to more quickly establish those important relationships which enable better connections among the churches and allowing them together to work to address missional issues in an effective and efficient manner.